On top of that building is the Statue of Liberty for some reason. Take number 4 bus up to here. Doesn't make a loop, but what it does is you get another bus and it goes right back. But up here is Xhamia Park, apparently, all that area up behind us. And you can rent bikes, apparently, and go biking in there. I don't know whether these are homes or hotels or what. There's some of the houses being built here. That can't be a house. No, it can't be. I think it was through there that I walked up from the bus station in my attempt to find my hostel, which I did. And I unceremoniously and disrespectfully missed Bill Clinton's picture up here on top, which was put up here at the time that they dedicated this road to Bill Clinton. And then years later, I think the Friends of America or some group like that, it wasn't Kosovonian, put in this statue, which we'll go over and take a look at. And this is the street that's named after him, a fairly substantial street. And this is a statue of Bill holding the agreement that allowed American troops into Kosovo as defense against the Serbs. And that's the agreement in his right hand. This is a new spectacular church. It should be the hallmark of Christian religion in this country and establish that fact. On the grounds of the University of Pristina, which I think got its strong impetus of credibility back in 1980 when the students revolted against food, believe it or not, in the cafeteria or in student union, but it precipitated a revolt throughout Kosovo against Tito's Yugoslav government, which then granted the right to fly the American flag, or fly the Kosovo flag, and speak the Albanian language, and a few other factors. This should be an incredible edifice if you're into this kind of thing. Huge, but very modern. I say modern in the sense of the time that it was built, i.e. now, not in design. It's very simplistic. Unimaginative would be a good term. Playing off of Mother Teresa for some reason. But the main reason I walked across here was to get a picture of this door. And maybe I can get the main door in a moment. These do look impressive in size. We're standing back quite a little ways, but that lower panel probably is 4 to 5 feet high. Here you can see the difference in the height of them and somewhat the width. I wish there was some other standard we could use, but I can't see it other than those bricks. En route to see is this newborn sign, but also I need to look at this building here, which actually is a pretty dramatic structure. This is the newborn monument built by what are called clever clogs. There was no central rallying point in 2008, and this became it when they built it, and then it's been covered with graffiti. Very analogous to the John Lennon wall in Prague near the historic bridge. And this building back here is apparently the youth and sports center. Spirit may have dictated patriotic clauses and phrases and slogans, but now it's just become something where anybody can put anything. Those with very small egos put the biggest, most blatant. The interesting thing is these are not papier-mâché, they're made out of iron. They're welded together, so no slouch of a project. It's an impressive structure, although it's all getting tawdry now, because third world nations do not repair anything once they build it, if they even finish it. It's interesting that next to the American flag flies the Kosovoan flag. Kosovoian flag. And probably all the other notables of NATO, including Britain. And over there another set, including China's flag. It's not hard to imagine that this is one of the heroes of the liberation movement, specifically the Balkan War, which ended in '99. So the guard gave me access here. There's a school, Cambridge, to my right, so it has some use, but not the original intended use, I don't imagine. So this half is, of course, either a soccer court. Probably they can roll out what you need for a basketball court. I think those are the markings down there. It'll be the inner part. I don't know what's on this side. Whatever it was for, this half is for seating also for something. I can't see inside. It used to be for seating, now it's just for parking. What a major building this is. It's too bad they can't restore it and use it for something valuable. It seems almost like a hallmark. Here, probably the most active stadium. How impressive this is. A little bit, I don't know, dark. Emotionally, but impressive. You have to remember that Kosovo, is, they're more than happy to remind you, is the newest country. Not quite sure that's true, but certainly it's the newest Western or newest European country. And you have to cut them a lot of slack, even though a tremendous amount of money's gone in there from the United States and other countries. This building is the government offices building that has been completely redone on the outside and probably the inside. It was the building that the Serbs took particular delight in destroying as much of it as they could. And so the Albanians have taken particular delight in rebuilding it. Now at the base of this building, ignominiously but importantly, hidden behind plastic while the construction undergoes on the street nearby, is the Skanderbeg statue. So we'll have to deduce what we can from what we see. This is probably his horse's right knee. If we could see up there, we'd see the two eagles, I think it is, or eagle's feathers, or no, excuse me, the horns of, I think, a goat that were the symbol of his helmet. My guess is it'll sit right on that mound in the midst of this redevelopment here. To our left is where the several mosques are. To our right is that large pedestrian street. On the other hand, this emerging cement obelisk may well be where he finally resides. Appropriate right outside of the newly redone government building. This tower was originally built in 1776 and then it burned down. The original bell was made in 1764 for John Moldova Ruman. Unfortunately, in 2001, the original bell was stolen, but then the French, for some reason, replaced the clock with an electrical one, but the outages, electrical outages were so bad in the city, the clocks kept poor time. Presumably all now is working well. I haven't checked my iPod to see what time it is, but presumably they are. And this pretty mosque that we looked at last night, closer detail, should be the Faith Mosque. Originally built in 1461. The interior, which we won't see, is painted with floral decorations, arabesque, grace walls, and ceiling.